England was for me a place where I basically was contracted to good clubs, but for some strange reason I just never really got both feet on the ground. I always was a typical bench or a reserve team goalkeeper, which well, now I can look back and say, well, it wasn't too good.
And then you went to St. Truiden?
On loan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that okay?
Well, I only was there for 4 games. I mean, that's like, it was like basically like a little holiday. You arrive, put the suitcase in the corner, play 4 games and go back home.
Okay. Hamrun Spartans, where was
Spartans was on Malta.
And then in '96, Sembawang Rangers?
Sembawang Rangers, that's in Singapore. It's a part of the city of Singapore. We play in the Malaysian League.
South Africa?
Yeah, Orlando Pirates. I'm sure you know this club. It's one of the biggest clubs in Africa. I was the only white player then. Johannesburg is not an easy place to live. I mean, it's very, very, maybe the most criminal city in the world. Orlando Pirates, as the name says, it is the team which is supported by the poorest of the poorest people. So I wasn't a very popular player when I arrived, with long hair and white skin. But I believe within 2 weeks, I was there for 6 weeks, within 2 weeks we all got good friends and it was okay. I mean, the goalkeeper there, the number 1 goalkeeper, William, I don't know the name anymore, William Ogbara, a Nigerian national keeper, he was injured. And once he was fit, it was my time to go again. So I took it as a very good life experience in South Africa.
And then you make a travel. You go home for a while to Nottingham Forest, and then from South Africa to Finland, Haka.
Right, then I went to Finland. I was in Haka for a season, which was a bit like coming home because Tampere and Valkeakoski, that's where Haka is based, it's very close. It's like 50 minutes by car. I lived again in Tampere, just went for the trainings to Valkeakoski, and it was a very small place. It's a paper factory there.
Paper factory?
The biggest one in the world, UPM I think it's called. That is the main sponsor of Haka.
Let's have a look. Nottingham Forest, Wacker Burghausen.
Wacker Burghausen, by then one of the top teams in the Regionalliga. That was the 3rd highest league in Germany, where we only finished 3rd in the end after a very disappointing start. And we didn't really achieve what we wanted to.
FK Fotball på P3.
Gelang United?
Yeah, that was a team in Malaysia, also based in Singapore, which is used to be by then one of the top teams in Asia, which was based on lots of players from England, Brazil, New Zealand, Australia, an Australian coach. We played Asian Champions League there. I don't think we lost many games during this whole time, where obviously I had, towards the end of this story, some bad things happened to me there, where my attitude towards Asia changed again by 100%.
What happened?
Well, basically, I just try to explain it shortly. It sounds a bit like Alibaba and the 40 Thieves, to be honest. But, well, what happened was we had unbelievable success when it came to sport. I even got my own television show, which you can hear now as I'm talking so well on radio. So I had actually ESPN, the Premier League highlights, like something like, for example, like what yesterday in the Champions League, Jana Gefjotov does, as a host. I had this show on ESPN for nearly a year. So everything went very well there for me. And then one day, somebody knocked on the door. I opened the door, a big fist came in, knocked me out, and then my whole apartment was broken into pieces, which I didn't know why. Anyway, I got arrested, which I didn't know why. I got questioned, which I didn't know why. And then I was putting across a man, which they said to me, if you ever met this man, you know this man. And I was very honest, and I said, yes, I saw this man 3 times in my life. I don't know his name, I don't know nothing about him. I just saw him as a football fan who I met at a petrol station once, at a shopping centre once, and at a restaurant once. And he asked me 3 times the question, oh, you're Lutz, the Gelang goalkeeper. Next week you play against Team X, do you think you can win? And I believe I gave the exact answer as 99.9% of even an amateur player on this world would do. Yes, we will win the game. He said, well, how do you guys feel? How did you train? As a normal football fan, and I just answered that we're in a very good shape and I'm very confident we'll win. That was all what was said. Anyway, I signed what I just said. I signed it in a statement. I went back home and I got a little bit beaten up as well there in the interrogation, like they would say it. And 4 months later, I got charged in court for verbal corrupt agreement, which some fools in Asia say it was match fixing, which actually I can show you the paper if you want to. It's not match fixing, it was just a verbal corrupt agreement. So basically they accused me of that. A guy asks me on the street, how do we go? I will tell him, yes, we win. He takes a big lump sum of money, bets it on us to win, and if we should win, he would pass me some money, which we did win the games. I believe the man never did bet. I also received no money. All that was proven in court, but I still got charged and imprisoned for making a verbal corrupt agreement, which does not exist in any Western system. I have no, I don't have a criminal record anywhere in the world, but in Singapore, I am considered to be a convict. I had 400 plus witnesses for me, which basically said exactly what was the fact, and I had one person who spoke against me, which was again this guy. The CPIB, which was the Corrupt Practice Investigation Bureau, they tried to clean up the corrupt practices in football, and they needed a scapegoat. I was ideal, I guess.
But you were sentenced for this.
Yes, I was sentenced.
How long?
For 5 months, but after 101 days I was allowed to go back home. The German embassy was fiddling around and they managed to get me back home.
What was it like in an Asian prison?
Well, exactly like in the movies, maybe a bit worse. It's nothing, it's like a room, concrete, no light, no toilet paper, no flowing water, rice to eat, no bed, you just sleep on the concrete floor. You get punched in the face. You have to, if you want to eat, you have to get an example done there, because they just will come and take your food away. There was another player, same situation. There was only 2 white guys in the whole prison, 3,000 people in there or something, I don't know, I didn't count them. But nothing to eat, basically, I mean, enough to eat if you take it, but as they know, the embassy told us not to fight or stay out of trouble, so they took us the food away whenever they wanted to. For like 10 days I started to feel a bit hungry, and one Indian guy which was supporting us a lot there, he just said, guys, you need to do something, because soon they will do worse things than that. And then we started to fight, and well, as we were a little bit taller than the rest, we actually managed to get through without massive problems. But an Asian prison is it's hell. I mean, everybody knows that in Singapore it's generally a very strict country. So these prisons are very Spartanic. That's they say once you've been there, you will never go back. I agree.
You'll never go back.
Because you maybe kill yourself just before you have to go back.